So this is the next section I'm going to be decluttering, and I've kind of been putting this one off for a while because this is a lot of my kind of smaller eyeshadow palettes. I'm not going to go through any of this just yet. I'm going to do what's in the drawers. These are mainly like quads, trios, duos, and like other small palettes. I'll have to do my single eyeshadows for another day, and then I will also have to do my small palettes for another day, and then probably do my large palettes for another day. So there's going to be a lot of eyeshadow palette decluttering videos. So this first drawer here, I have it pretty much filled, and I feel like there's a lot of things I'm going to be able to get rid of. I'm going to start with over here because I feel like these are some that I will get rid of. So these four are all like little 5 shadow palettes of LA Colors. These are just all shimmer all day, so I think I'm just going to get rid of all of these. They're like some really pretty colors. This one's Wildflowers. This one is Fabulous. This one is Wine and Roses. And this last one is Serenade. I think when I was younger, whenever I would buy a lot of makeup, I was kind of like quantity over quality. I mean, these aren't bad. I probably paid like a few bucks for each of these, but they're just so shimmery, and I just don't really find myself reaching for these pretty much ever. So I'm just gonna pass these along to like maybe my little cousins or just, you know, anyone else in my family who wants them. So those are all going, and I just feel like I need to be a little cutthroat on these shadows because that's something that I always want to buy more of, and another thing that I just feel like I will never honestly get through in my entire life. Oh, and then here is another one that was hiding under. This one is called Unforgettable, so that one's going as well. So these next two I have are from NYX. These are the Love in Paris quads. This first one here, I've actually used the one shadow like completely all the way up. This one was called Madeleines and Macaroons. These aren't the best quality eyeshadows. I don't even know if they still sell these anymore, but mainly what I used this for was I would keep this in my makeup bag for these like little matte colors, and I would use those up mostly. I pretty much never use those shimmer colors. So I guess I'll hang on to this just so I can use up these matte colors because they're pretty usable. So probably once I use up the mattes, then I will declutter this, but I just kind of keep this in my bag. That way if I ever throw another makeup palette in it, I'll always have those kind of go-to blending shades in it, so that one will stay. This one is called Let Them Eat Cake. I don't really find as many colors in this one as I like, but I just feel like I can't let this one go yet, so I'll hang on to that one, but maybe with the next go around of declutters, maybe I'll get rid of it. This one was a Physicians Formula little eyeshadow palette. This one is just the nude one. It kind of has like a little fishnet stocking on it, and then it has some shimmer colors. These are all actually all shimmers. I just feel like, I don't know, I'll probably give this one a couple more tries and see if I want to declutter it, but for now I guess it will stay. So from that drawer, 3 are staying and 5 are being decluttered. So all of those are going. So next I have quite a few Wet n Wild trios. I think I'm gonna probably get rid of some of these. This one is one in the color Fauna. I think the colors are pretty, but they just don't really seem like something I would use all together. And they're just all shimmers, so those can go. Then for some reason I have a duplicate of one. These are both Sweet as Candy. I have one that looks like a little newer and one that is a little bit more well used. I'm gonna keep the older one, and then I'll probably pass along the newer one to like one of my friends or family, so that one will go. This next one here is this one. This one's called Walking on Eggshells. It's almost like identical to this one, just some of the colors are a little different. Like the brown shimmer is a little bit more warmer in this one, and then this one's a little bit more of a peachy one. So these are like super similar, but I think I'll still keep it just because I remember this was such pretty good eyeshadow for the drugstore, so I'm gonna keep both of those. And another random trio that I have duplicates of, this one is a Silent Treatment. One, I think the actual shadow completely shattered out of it, so I'm gonna pass that one along, and I'll keep the other Silent Trio one. This one is a Revlon Color Stay Quad. This one is in the color Enchanted. I used to really hate these. I don't think these are the best shadows ever, but I do like using this quad when I do this particular like smoky eye that I like, so even though these colors aren't anything that great, I will keep that one. This is a little duo from Victoria's Secret. I think this one was called Jewel Thief. This one has 2 kind of like pretty colors, but not really 2 colors I'd wear together. Mainly I want to keep this one for that kind of silvery color, so I'll hang on to this even though I don't really care for that blue one too much, but maybe I'll depot it and put something else in here. Next is another classic eyeshadow palette that I used to love so much. This is the NYX 10 color eyeshadow, the Runway collection. This one is the one Champagne and Caviar. So as you can probably see, I have like murdered this palette. I've used up 2 colors completely. The one thing I didn't like about this palette was all the colors seemed to kind of be really similar. Like that top row are all just like pretty much the same color brown with just a little bit of a tone difference. But I used to use this. I remember when I started college, this was my absolute favorite eyeshadow palette, so I'm gonna hang on to this one a little bit longer. Another one that's just kind of like a little more sentimental, but one I feel like these are colors I would actually use. So I'm gonna put all the ones that I'm gonna keep up in this drawer. I will have to do a little bit more rearranging to get all these to fit, so for now I'm just gonna set that one right there. And that drawer has been completely cleared out. So from that drawer I am decluttering 3 eyeshadow palettes. So this next drawer I have a few more Wet n Wild eyeshadows. I find that they're just like some of the best ones that you can get at the drugstore, and they're super inexpensive. But this first one here, I know I'm definitely gonna get rid of. This was one of these shimmer strips from Physicians Formula. This was like the Green Eyes one. And again, it's just like all shimmer, and I mean, they're okay colors, but just kind of like a weird color configuration for one palette, especially since they're all shimmers. I just feel like I wouldn't really use this as a standalone palette. So this one I'm just gonna declutter. This next one is a Wet n Wild 6-pan one. These were like the ones based off like the 7 Deadly Sins. These were the absolute best eyeshadow palettes ever. They were such pretty ones. You got 3 shimmers and 3 mattes, and they had so many different ones. And then these 3 are also some iconic Wet n Wild eyeshadows. The Comfort palette, there was the Petal Pusher palette. They had a blue one as well, but I never really cared for the blue one. And then I have this like matte version one in the middle. I kind of just like the matte one for the neutral side, not really so much for the actual colors, but I'm gonna hang on to all 3 of these. I think that these have been like recently repackaged or something. I don't know if they're the same or if they're changed. So I'm just gonna swap those drawers. The only eyeshadow that I have decluttered from that one is this one, so that is going. Next in this drawer I have some very small eyeshadow palettes. These are actually kind of like so small, they're kind of a joke. I got these a few years ago from Sephora. It was like a little gift set of I think it was like 5 of these little teeny tiny duos. They were kind of cute, but honestly the size and the quality of these suck so much. They were probably only like, I don't know, maybe $10 or $15, but definitely way too much. I just don't really ever see myself using these, so those are all going to be decluttered, and there are 5 of those. Next I have this Etude House Blend eyeshadow quad. These again, I don't really like. I talked about these in my Korean Beauty Not Worth the Hype video, but again, I want to hang on to these in case I ever do any more like full face Korean beauty videos, so that one can stay, but I don't really recommend these, to be honest. And then back here I just have some of these Coastal Scents mini eyeshadow samples, so I like to keep those as well for like sample makeup challenges, so all of those will stay. From this drawer I basically have, I think, all the same shadows. These are these little quads from e.l.f. They were like the $1 quads. I think I have so many of these. I'm just gonna let all of these go because honestly I just don't use these. They're not the best quality. I mean, they're decent, you can make it work. I just find that these are taking up a lot of space in my makeup collection and there's no real need for me to keep them, so those are going. So that whole drawer is being decluttered, and I have 8 of those, and those are going to be passed along. This next drawer I have a whole bunch of random little trios. I used to buy a lot of these NYX trios from this one website. I don't think it even exists anymore. I think it was called like Shop Craze or something, but they would have so much discounted NYX makeup. I used to buy so much stuff just because it was so inexpensive. Like, honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. I'd buy a lot of weird colors just because they were probably like, I don't know, $3 or $4 for a little trio. But I just have so many of these little random ones. This one's like actually missing an eyeshadow, so I'm definitely going to get rid of some of these. I'm going to go through real quick, see which ones, if there's any colors that I would keep, but most of these I think I'm just going to get rid of. So the only one worth keeping that I feel like are colors I would use is this one. It's a trio called In the Woods. I'll just keep that one, but the rest of them are just gonna go. So I have 5 of those that are going to go. This next one is from Maybelline's the Eye Studio one. This one is in the color Green with Fashion. I feel like I kind of let this one go, but I do kind of like these colors. Again, not the best shadow quality. I find that these are just never that great, but I do kind of like that middle green color, so I guess for now I'll keep it. And then the last thing I have in here is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. But to be honest, this is actually a knockoff one. I had ordered a few eyeshadows before from like random websites that I knew were 100% knockoffs, but I just wanted to test them to see like, are they any good? Are they the same thing? So it's definitely not that great, but I do want to hang on to this just for like future videos and stuff that I have some ideas for. So this one is definitely not authentic Urban Decay, but I will hang on to that one. And the final drawer I have here, just some more eyeshadow quads. These are actually some from Ulta that they would used to do a lot of the time with like a free Ulta gift bag. If you bought like $20 worth of Ulta brand stuff, they would have like a $35 gift bag for free, you know? And so they throw in a lot of these like really honestly like not that great kind of eyeshadows. So I think I'm definitely gonna get rid of some of these. So this is the only one that color-wise still kind of intrigues me. I like these kind of taupey, silvery kind of colors. So this is the only one I'm gonna keep, but the rest of them I will declutter. So these are the 4 that I'm going to get rid of. Again, these aren't really that bad of shadows. I mean, some are kind of a hit or miss, but at this point, I just have so much stuff. I just don't have the room for like okay products anymore. So those are all gonna go, but these aren't really that bad, especially like the regular Ulta singles. A lot of those are so good, which I believe these are supposed to be the same like colors and formula and stuff. So definitely try some of them out, but don't go crazy. And then the last 2 I have in here, I paid way too much money for now that I'm looking back at it in retrospect. These are both from Smashbox. They are like these little mini palettes. They're actually about the size of a credit card. They're a little bit thicker than a credit card, but I swear to God, I must have paid like, I think $25 a piece for these, which was so much money, and I'm really like mad at myself that I even paid that much money for this. So the first one is the Full Exposure, and I just liked the idea of having like a really compacted eyeshadow palette that I could bring with me. There's 8 colors. The top 4 are shimmer and the bottom 4 are matte. I actually kind of like the bottom 4, and this is another kind of palette that I'll just throw with my makeup bag. That way if I use another palette, I'll always have those kind of blending colors. But I'm not a huge fan of these shimmers, and they're just not that great. And I feel like Smashbox is one of those high-end brands that like are supposed to have pretty good products, but to be honest, I just don't really care for those shimmers too much. I mean, they're not the worst, but just not $25 worth for honestly, for, you know, the amount of product you get. So I'm still gonna hang on to this one, even though the shadows are not my favorite. And then the second one is the Double Exposure. This one has a few more like kind of colors in it, some blue, a little bit of purple, peachy, and kind of like another brown one. This one, I think you get all shimmer except for this one here, so kind of like even worse in my opinion, because at least I liked the the mattes of the other ones, but these are kind of like shimmers or satins or pearl kind of finishes. But again, I kind of paid too much money to let this go, so these are gonna stay with me for a little bit longer. So I was basically able to clear out another whole drawer and then this little mini drawer. Once I kind of go through and combine all these, I'm pretty sure I'll have like maybe another drawer empty. So that was pretty much it for all the eyeshadows that I decluttered from this video. So I can't hold all of them up that I decluttered, but I have decluttered 31 eyeshadow like duos, trios, mini palettes, and things like that. 31 from this video, so I'm actually kind of proud of myself, just because like I said, I have so much eyeshadow that I'm just never gonna go through all that. So that's gonna be it for this video. I will definitely have a lot more stuff, especially going over all these up here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.